righty. Happy Halloween. Hope everybody has a good day. You guys have some good candy for the trick-or-treaters. And Reese's Peanut Butter Cup is my favorite, in case you guys were about to ask that question. And we'll get started here. I would say right off the bat, after watching the film, no real surprises. I'd say the outcome of the game really came down to the fact that we had 5 possessions in the red zone and scored 3 touchdowns and kicked 2 field goals. They had 5 possessions in the red zone and scored 5 touchdowns, and that's an 8-point swing, and it was an 8-point final. So when you look at it, that's really we have to find a way to score all times we're down there, which would be 5 touchdowns in that scenario, and hold them to 3 touchdowns and 2 field goals, and then we would have won by 8. So that's what we're focusing on again, continue to work through that. And I would say the rest of the game was a pretty good football game. Back and forth. 31-29, had a chance to get them off the field on 3rd and 8. Penalty was called, and that led to a touchdown to make it, 38-29. And then we wound up having to come back a little bit more. But, again, 2 weeks in a row now. Game should have come down, was an onside kick this past game. And then if we make the field goal against UW, it's 49-42, and we're kicking an onside kick with almost the exact same time left in the game. So we got to be able to – these one-score games, we got to start flipping them. But I think our guys are continuing to be competitive, continuing to build – to having really good football. Our offense is hitting on all cylinders right now. And it's exciting to see, when you start noticing things like going from 109th in big plays to 1st in big plays in 1 year. When you notice that you're going from 114th in offense to 20th. When you're passing the ball at your number 3 in the country, and we were 70th or so last year. I think we've moved up 80 spots in almost every offensive category that you would keep track of. Is what I noticed yesterday. So that's exciting, and we'll continue to see if we can get better and how much better we can get.
Did you give any consideration to going for it, or do you need points on every possession?
Yeah, I would say in that situation it was 10-7. So the first one, I think we tied it up to make it. To make it 10-all, and then it was 17-10, and then we kicked that field goal to make it 17-13. I think really in those situations, it was really the end of the half and the start of the half, I believe. No, I think points were important. If it was closer, like when it was 3rd and 8, if we got to a 4th and 3 or 4, probably inside the 5, I probably would have gone for it. But I don't think 4th and 8 on the 8 in a game where it was only a 1-score game, I didn't see the reason not to make it a 1-point game, to make it 17-16. And then I was really you get to a point where it's 1st and goal on the 2, 2nd and goal on the 1, 3rd and goal on the 7 or so. That was tough. So neither one of those were really ones that I felt to go for it, especially the way the game was going. It felt like it was just a good football game where we could keep the game within a score.
Foul. Have you got any clarification sense on whether the foul was on the inadvertent contact that he made with Caleb Williams, or was it the verbal interaction that took place after that?
It should not have been a foul.
How do you convey that to the conference, what your feelings are, or is it just, it is what it is?
It is what it is. It is what it is. There was no foul there.
You guys had only 9 players on the field under long field goal time. Someone said that.
Yeah, we had no timeouts because it was going on in the first. We were out of timeouts because I used it to challenge the Dorian Singer catch, and they were in a situation they were on like the 36-yard line, and we kept the defense out there to play safe, thinking they were going to punt it. Once we saw they put their field goal kicker out there, we subbed 2 guys out, and I think we were at 9, which I'm glad we weren't at 8.
Defensively, you got 4 games left. What do you need to do in these last 4 games for you to feel like your defense has done what you hoped it would do this year?
Get the ball away, take the ball away, get some sacks, and hold the scoring down. Right now, we've got to find a way to keep the scores down. We've gone against some really good teams. I think I saw today that the number 18, number 19, number 10 team, and number 12 team in the country are the 4 out of our 5 games that we're playing right now. And Washington's the 5th game. So we've gone through the gamut there. Oregon scores a lot. They're outstanding team. USC scores a lot. That's number 8 and number 9. And then UCLA is number 10. We play them in a week. And then Utah's 12. So we've had a tough stretch there of playing really, really good football teams. But the goal will be these next 4, with Utah, UCLA, Washington State, and the team up north. We've got to find a way to just bring the point totals down, get off the field a couple more times, and then take the ball away. I mean, if we can just take the ball away a few times, make a huge difference.
A couple stretches where you guys had 7 defensive backs. What's the purpose of that kind of formation?
They were playing with 4 receivers and 1 back, no tight ends. So when they went into what we would call 10 personnel, our answer was going to be we were going to add DBs in the game and either A, force them to hand the ball off and then tackle with our DBs, or 2, be able to run some more coverage scheme with having more DBs in the game. And we were happy with the way that package looked for us. We wouldn't do that against a three receivers, only against 4 receivers. And having that against the 4 receivers helped us.
After watching the film and talking with Coach Nansen, did you see any improvement of things you can build on defense for this week against Utah?
Yeah, I thought that, I really thought we actually did some good things on defense. We held them we made them have a lot of third downs. So we were able, the problem was the third downs were 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 2. But there was one point that I looked up and it was like they were 8 for 9 on 3rd down, but it was like in the middle of the 2nd quarter that they had already 9 third downs in the game. I think that we tackled pretty good. I don't think there was a ton of, there were some great plays that were made by them. Their quarterback's a really good player. There were some times that I think against other players, there would have been a much better chance to get them down. I felt that, I'll tell you, one of the most impressive ones was the end of the game. That we made them, they had to go for it on 4th down. They had to go for it on 4th down to win that game, in my opinion. I think they thought we'd go down and score and tie the game up. That would be the only reason why you would ever go for it on 4th down in that situation. Instead of kicking us deep and making us go 90 yards with no timeouts, they went for it on the 40. And we would have had to go 60 yards. So those 3 stops, to stop them on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, and then Jacob Manu was a shoestring away from getting that stop on 4th down, which would have been fun to see what would have happened then in that case. So I think defensively, there were some unfortunate plays that were called that didn't allow us to show some of the times that we got off the field.
Seems to be making plays for you guys more and more as a defensive linebacker. You mentioned that 3rd down, the 4th down play, and then you have the 3rd down play. Even though he's just short on those, do you see the progress that he's making on the field?
Yeah. I think Jacob Manu is becoming, I think I saw he was like the 4th most productive player on our defense, and he's only played or started 4 games for us, I believe is what the numbers are. So you could see his production showing up. He's extremely active. He's a leader out there. He's a great communicator. He loves football. He loves being a part of it. He's very much like T-Mac. Obviously, they were teammates. But you watch them, they both have smiles on their faces at all times playing football. They love it. They embrace the game. And I think that's what we're seeing from Jacob. He's trying to make as many plays as he can make. He's just going to get better. He wasn't here in the spring. He had no off-season program with us. He had no off-season spring football. So together, him having this starting experience, then coming back in the spring, staying in the system will really help him.
The other new or young defenders who were able to get in the game now that you were able to see it on film?
I thought Jacob Kongaika had a good game. I think he only had, 16 to 18 plays in the game, 83 total defensive snaps. So gave him about 20% of the game. I think probably about 25% will be good for him this coming week. Just continue to get better, stronger. I think Ty did a lot of good things, started the game, continued to work on his technique in regards to especially the line games and line stunts and working hand in hand with the defensive ends next to you. But he did, he's a powerful kid. He's a powerful kid. Prysock, I thought played really well. They're loaded. They're loaded at the receiver position. There's never been a question about USC and the amount of quality wideouts they have. I think everybody's either a 4 or 5-star player over there at receiver, and I thought that Prysock did a great job of stepping in and playing really good defense. Tacario Davis played in that 7 DB package, and I would say that he did a lot of great things. There was maybe a curl route that was caught kind of close to him, but other than that, he's long. And he's going to be a huge part of our success moving forward. So defensively, I think those would be the 5 plus Jacob, those 6 guys that played. And we'll continue to see who else we can get out there. Obviously, Deuce Davis is continuing to show up. But the more Deuce goes, I think the better Deuce will be.
How does AJ had that strong inside run in the third quarter, the 18-yarder inside, and then it looked like we called his number right again. And it looked like if he had bounced it out, he could have maybe taken it in the house. Just curious what you saw there and what the design of that run was.
Yeah, we called that, I think about 5 times in the game, a version of that inside zone play with 2 open edges. Ideally, you're going to take it from the front side. It's called center guard area, back door to the backside guard tackle area and kind of just go one gap at a time and see if you could wind that play all the way back. The first time the hole hit front side, so he was able to kind of hit it right down the pipe. The second time, their linebacker got a little bit more involved in it. They slanted the front, would have caused them to have to take it all the way back and outside. But I think we all saw that there was some opportunity there to be able to, take it outside there and probably would have had a chance there.
Aha moment with Singer where you signed up practice and thought, wow, he's better than I thought he was?
I think last year when we started, I think it was the USC game was the first time we put him in, or the first time it was really productive. The catch he made against ASU one-handed that Will threw all the way down the sideline, the second play of the game was one of those just ridiculous catches that I think we said we're glad we gave him a scholarship. Or I think maybe after the game I said we're going to give him a scholarship as soon as we can. Where the aha moments are coming now is he's making those plays consistently rather than weekly. They're happening daily. His ability to go up and make plays, he takes it almost every practice rep. His practice mentality is exceptional. So we're seeing more and more of these moments where he's not afraid to go up and just high point the ball, and his confidence continues to grow. And, when you catch 3 touchdowns in a game, your confidence has now gotten to a point that I think he believes that I'm always open.
How does it affect your preparation when the other team has a handful of really prominent players whose status is uncertain?
Yeah, we got to worry about us, and we got to figure out how we're going to, play better fundamentally. I don't think it'll really matter whether or not if their tight end plays or doesn't play, running back doesn't play, see what happens with Cam. For us, it's going to be, can we be more gap sound? Can we beat their tackles and pass rush? Can we improve on our line games? Can we find a better way or a more consistent way to cover their guys down the field? And then whomever they play will then determine what we need to do, if we need to change a coverage or adjust something. But for the most part right now, it's all about us, and it's all about can we get better at all of our fundamentals and techniques, so whoever lines up, we line up and play better.
Jedd, one off topic, since it's Halloween, what's the best Halloween costume you had as a kid? And what kind of candy are you giving out tonight at the Fish House?
Well, we'll always be, we're kind of a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, peanut M&M family. So we'll be giving those out, I think. That allows me to keep the leftovers. So it's always a good strategy to pick your favorite candy, give them out at your own house. That's my advice there. It feels like Mike Leach giving out advice. That is my advice on Halloween. And then my favorite, I would say I was dressed as Buddy Ryan for about 3 straight years when he was the head coach of the Eagles. I grew up an Eagles fan. My dad went to school in Pennsylvania at Penn. Always was an Eagles fan, so I grew up as one. So I think probably 4th grade, 5th grade, and 6th grade, I dressed as Buddy Ryan and then quickly moved to the offensive side of the ball.